How's it going, everyone? Back again with another video. In this video, I'm just going to give you my review and impressions on the first episode of The Last of Us TV show that came out a couple days ago on the Sunday US time, Monday my time. So I figured I'd talk to you guys about the episode and just let you guys know how I felt about it. Sorry this is coming a little bit later than everyone else. I didn't realize that I could actually watch this thing. I thought it was supposed to be on some sort of like streaming service that I don't have, and I was just planning on just waiting for the series just to finish, and then I'll just get the 2-week free trial, watch the series, and just bin that shit. I was planning on doing that, but my cable service, Foxtel, actually has the series. I was looking everywhere for it and I couldn't find it, but well, apparently they do. So I watched the first episode on a Friday, so that's why this video is a little bit late. Otherwise I would have done this a lot earlier than right now, because practically tomorrow is the next episode. Like, it's, what time is it? It's like about 12 o'clock at night, and it premieres at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's 13 hours away for the next episode. So it's actually quite good for me because, you know, I've watched the first episode a couple of days ago now. The next episode's coming up, so that's quite good for me. So yeah, I'm just going to give you guys my impressions on this. Also, I'm going to say, if you haven't played the game or watched the first episode, don't watch this video. I am going to, I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm going to spoil a few things, just a few things I need to talk about. But surely people who have watched this have played the video games. But if you haven't, don't watch this. Watch the first episode, come back to this. That way we can talk about it. You know, you could understand it a little bit more. So yeah, I'm just going to give you my first impressions on this. I will say right off the bat, the first episode was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it like everyone else did. I thought that it was a little bit of a letdown in a few aspects of it. I will talk to that in a moment, because the way I saw it on Rotten Tomatoes, that thing is like the first episode is 99%. Like, fucking hell, like, how? Like, this is why you can't trust people, you know, in like the video game industry, movie industry, when it comes to the big, you know, companies reviewing stuff like this. They're all buddies. Like, they all got to be nice to each other, and it's just like I just cannot take a few of these people seriously when they say how great, you know, something is. If you got to really watch it for yourself and think of your own opinion. Like, when it comes to the internet, it's like someone says something and then everyone else just jumps on it. So if someone says something's fantastic, you know, on the internet, people will fucking just, you know, just follow that blindly without having their own thoughts and opinions. And yeah, it's definitely annoying. So I am going to talk about the first episode right now. I'm going to talk about the good stuff first, and I'll talk about the bad stuff later on. So basically the premise is that, if you haven't, you know, watched this or played this, it's basically just the start of a pandemic. The whole world has gone to shit. Absolutely, it's just a wrap. Like, there's a fungal infection. It affects the humans and it basically turns them into flesh-eating zombies. I wouldn't say zombies, but flesh-eating, like, I don't know, organisms that turn people once you get bitten. And basically we just see the start of it, how everyone turns. But the one thing I did like, the first thing I really liked, was the epilogue at the start. The way that that TV, like, they've got like this talk show from the 60s. I don't know why it was based in the 60s, but anyway, that those two doctors are talking about a fungal infection and how everyone's, you know, laughing and having a, you know, great time. And once the doctors are starting to, you know, talk about how bad this can be, like, the whole room is absolutely fucking silent. And I like how the host is like, yeah, we're it's like you couldn't hear a pin drop in that room, and he's like, yeah, we'll cut the commercial, we'll be back in a minute. Like, and then we just lead up to 2003. in the game it's based in 2012 or 2013, so I don't know why they changed that for some reason. It's like, all right, whatever. Mainly because the 20 years, it will be 2023, which is right now, so I'm taking that's why they did it. So yeah, I like that aspect of it, the epilogue. What else did I like? I mean, I love the fact that it's The Last of Us. Like, when it comes to video game adaptations, we are not on a good streak. I don't think any of them I would consider like fantastic or good. Most of them are either bang average to dog shit. So yeah, first impressions, like it's okay, but it's The Last of Us. So I love the premise of this. I love the first game. I was gonna say I love the franchise. No, I love the first game. We ain't gonna. I'll talk about the second game later on, but I love the first game, and I love the premise of it. I love the one thing I absolutely loved about this game, including the second game, is the environment, the I can't even say it, you know the word, apocalyptic world. I just love it for some reason, how everything's gone to shit, and just the like nature has, you know, just taken over, and everything's, you know, all, you know, it's like all the grass and everything's like just run down, and just everything about that. I just love that for some reason. I don't know why. I just do. Same goes with like The Walking Dead. I thought that show was fucking garbage in my opinion, but the one thing I loved about The Walking Dead was just the open world and the way it was shot and everything. It looked beautiful. I think it's in Georgia, and that shit looks awesome. Like, just the way, I don't know, I just love the open world in terms of post-apocalyptic like worlds. So I'm definitely looking forward to how this is going to look. From first glance, it was really good. Another thing that I really liked about the first episode is the CGI and the visual effects. Phenomenal for a TV show. Really, really, really good. Especially the CGI, like, especially when they're running, you know, getting the fuck out of there, getting out of their place, and they have to, you know, travel down the highway, and they're seeing all these planes, you know, flying down. I'm taking that one of the passengers has the virus, and the pilots are trying to control the plane, making sure that they don't crash. And that shit looked really good, how it was filmed and how it was shot. It was really, really, really good. It's a big difference comparing to what I've been used to in terms of TV CGI. Like, I was just thinking about Lost, you know, back in 2004, and how the plane crashed. That shit looks, it is night and day difference compared to this game and how the planes were flying and crashing, and Lost when that thing crashed on the island. Like, that shit was absolutely horrendous, the CGI. But this is really, really good, so hopefully it will be the same throughout the TV show. One thing about TV shows is that they tend to spend all their money at the start of the TV show just to get everybody captivated, so hopefully they don't drop off in quality throughout the show, but we're about to find out there. So yeah, those are there's a lot of good things about this show that I liked. Like I said, I love the premise. I love, you know, just the storytelling itself. I also, you know, I like this. You know, I like the scenes where, the scenes that we see from the video game, how they're practically played exactly frame by frame in a, you know, in real time, like in a real world, like how you see like examples, like how you see how they're running away from, you know, the cops, and they're going down the highway, and they see those police cars and the fire trucks going, you know, practically exactly the same as the video game. I really, really like that. Another thing I liked and I didn't like, I'm going to talk about what I liked, was the way that they practically said the same lines from the video game in the show. I did like that. However, I'll talk about what I didn't like later on. But yeah, there's a lot of good things that I enjoyed. It was enjoyable, this show. Do not get me wrong. There is enjoyment watching this, but I'll tell you what. Someone who has played the video game will see the flaws of this show, and someone who hasn't would be loving this. Like, it's the first Last of Us game on a TV show. Like the storytelling and the premise and the most of the dialogue and everything is tip top, because it was done so well in the game, and they're practically copying the source material in this. So it's going to be really, really good in terms of the writing. However, let's talk about a few of the bad things. There is a few. I ain't gonna lie. There is a few things. I shall talk about the obvious, which is the casting. I'm not a fan of it at all, for the most part. I mean, what's his name? I can't think of the actor who does Joel. I know he was in Narcos. It was Pedro Pascal, I think. He does an okay job, but he ain't no Troy Baker at all. Not even remotely close. Like the way he talks about his lines and comparing to what we had in the video game, it's so different compared to Troy Baker. What else? I don't think I'm a fan of anyone in terms of the main characters. I wasn't a fan of Tess at all. They've turned Tess into a bit of a I don't know. She's not as badass as she is in the first game. I wouldn't say badass, but she isn't as strong of a lead. She's a bit more, I don't know, a bit more defensive, a bit more, not really a. I hate to talk like this, but she's not really like a woman alpha. She's definitely toned back in comparing to the video game, which is, she is way better in the video game. Same with Joel. But the one I couldn't really rub my head around is Ellie. I'm not a fan of the voice actor. I mean, the actor who plays Ellie. She's completely different compared to Ellie. Her name's Ella Ramsey or something like that. She's English, and I don't know what to say about the actor who plays her. I don't mean to be mean about her, but she looks off to me. She looks different. I'm trying to say that nicely. Just looking at her face, it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh, why? What? There's just something that rubs me the wrong way in terms of the actor herself. No offense to her, but she just looks. Just look at her face, and she doesn't look like Ellie, and yeah, she just looks strange to me. So that's definitely not what I wanted to see. Like, I think everybody had a bit of questions in terms of the casting in the first place, and for good reason. Like, I could talk about the other stuff. I could go down the racial route and say that why is Joel and Tommy, not white, and they're actually Hispanic. It's weird seeing two people of who are South American having like their name Miller as their name. Like, nah. Like, I'm saying, it just doesn't look right to me. But it's fine, to be honest. It's not a big deal compared. Like, I know a lot of people are making it as a big deal, and I have a little bit of, I wouldn't say a big problem over, but yeah, I just don't know why. But it doesn't help at all that another thing that isn't really that good is the acting. When I was talking about how I loved how they did the same lines that they did in the video game, but I just tell you what, they didn't do it as well as the video game. Every time I saw a scene from the video game played out in the TV show, I'm thinking to myself that it was done better in the game. Every time. I didn't see once where I'm like, hey, this was actually better in the TV show than the video game. Not once. every single time I saw the same scene or they were saying this dialogue from the video game, I was like, there is not even close. It was poorly, it fell, most of them fell flat. No, I'll take that back. Almost every time it fell flat. That scene where Joel and Ellie are in that safe house and he's talking about the watch, and like just the way that they said the lines, where the scene where he's like, what am I doing? I'm killing time. And in the game, it's like he says it so, calmly and just said it so well, Troy Baker. But in this, he sounds like a fucking little brat. The way they say it is like when Ellie says, "Oh, kill time," and he's like, and she's like, "Oh, well, what am I going to do?" And he sounds like an absolute fucking bitch when he says the line. He's like, "I'm sure you'll figure it out." Like just sounded off to me, and that's what it sounded like in most of the scenes. It just didn't sound right. It sounded poorly, the lines were poorly delivered. So I wasn't a fan of that. What else I didn't like? There was a few scenes like where they kind of told like scenes that we in the video game they didn't have, like with Sarah, how with the watch we didn't know how she afforded the watch, and in the TV show it shows that she stole money from Joel's wallet to go get the watch done. But when we go to the when she goes to the fucking scene, to the clock thing repair place, like literally she must have grabbed about $300, and then the guy said it only cost about $20. Surely she could have easily just went to the shop beforehand, found out how much it cost, found out it was only $20, and went and got a paper route and actually got the present herself with her own money. Because it's just, you buy someone a present, you don't use their money for the present. If he wanted to fix the watch, he would have done it himself. Like, I'm sure he would have. So yeah, that was just a bit off to me. Another thing I really didn't like was the fact that Joel, I didn't realize, like, they're trying to make Joel a little bit more, I wouldn't say let their guard down. I know what they're planning on. When they do the second, they want to make sure that, he can be a bit more complacent, because when he was taking, like, he was giving that FEMA guard, whatever it is, oxycodone, and he was actually using it himself with the whiskey. In the video game, we never see him take any drugs or drink, because you got to be on your guard in terms of surviving in a post-apocalyptic world. Well, guess what? I know for a fact when they start doing the second game, and when we all know what happens in the second game, that's their excuse, that he's going to be a bit more complacent and because he takes drugs and stuff like that. But in the first game, they didn't do it. So I know for a fact that's coming. That is coming. I know for a fact that is coming. That's their excuse when they find out what happens to him in the second game, because he never took any drugs. He never took any alcohol. Surely he might have drank here and there, but yeah, he never did in the first game, and I can see it's coming a mile away. Another thing I wasn't a fan of, was the scene at the end where Ellie and they get busted by that guard right at the end at the over the wall. First things first, it was really easy for them to get out of the wall. Like, it was literally just go under some fucking building and bam, you're there. Like, in the game, it took an eternity to get outside the wall, and like, I don't know, it just felt wrong. It felt off to me, because I'm pretty sure if it was that easy to get out of the wall, then surely it'd be much easier to get inside the wall, whether you're an infected or bandits or stuff like that. It was just off to me. But that scene at the end, Like, I thought that scene was horrible, the way it was played out. First things first, it's another one of them. What are the odds that the guard that's busted is the guard that Joel gave the drugs to and is pretty much his man on the inside. It's like, what are the fucking odds of that? Another thing, like, surely they would have seen him taking a piss before they just, you know, went straight out into the open. I, like I said, complacency. They've been doing it for 20 years. Like, they should have checked their surroundings a bit better. Surely they would have. I know it was raining, but I'm sure they would have heard, him taking fucking taking a leak on the wall. I'm surely they would have heard that, even though it was raining. They were really close to each other, and just the way that scene was played, I didn't. It wasn't done that well. First thing, that guard was by himself. Surely he would have had a backup partner somewhere. I think that was just to move the plot along. And yeah, just watch that scene again. Just the way it was acted, the way Tess is acting, like way she was acting when she finds out that Ellie is infected. It was just not good. It was it was shot poorly and it was just acted poorly. It's like it wasn't that good of a scene, and that scene was really really good in the game, and it was actually a major part of the game and the premise. But yeah, it wasn't done that good. If you have, watch that scene again and watch how it's filmed. It is not good. It is acted so poorly. Like, just the way Tess is acting, she fucking it is not the way Tess is in the video game. She doesn't hold her emotions like that too much. Like, in terms of just being shocked like that. That girl was so cool and calm and collected that she wouldn't have acted like that, regardless if that girl was infected. Another thing is, there was no gunshots and there was no radio to say that I found someone over here. But once Joel killed the bashed the shit out of him, like, all of a sudden the guards knew exactly where they were without any warning or anything. No gunshots, no nothing. So yeah, that's another thing I didn't like about that scene. And that flashback, even though Ellie is a girl and, like, because of Sarah, it was like the same situation when she died. I don't know, there wasn't that much of a relationship for him to have a flashback like that. That's just me. But anyway, yeah, I really didn't like that scene. While I'm there, another scene that was a bit strange was the kid scene, where that kid is literally just walking out the middle of the open, just a young kid, literally just walking in front of the wall like that, and nothing happens to the kid. Like, seriously, no way a kid like that should be fucking making it. He must have walked about 10, 15 kilometers, and no infected were chasing him or anything like that. In the game, that kid would have been finished immediately. And I'll tell you what, those FEMA guards would not be letting that kid come. They wouldn't get anywhere near that kid. They would have shot him on sight if it was the video game, because what if he's faking it and he turns and bites the guard? It was just, in the game, it wouldn't have been like that. Those guards would have definitely not picked up that kid straight away, because what happens if he was infected and bit one of the guards? It was just off for me. But overall, there is enjoyment in this. I mean, someone who, played the game, loved the first game, hated the second game. Like, you guys know how I feel about the second game. But anyway, I didn't mind the show, but it was nowhere near as good as 99%. It was an okay show, but it has its flaws. Yeah, it just has its flaws. They have changed a few things, like when Joel is talking to that guy on the radio, trying to talk to Tommy. The way I'm seeing it is that they've changed the relationship in that, because in the game, Tommy didn't want anything to do with Joel, like, at all. Like, he did not want to have anything to do with that guy. But apparently in this, he must be in constant contact with him, and he's just been MIA for a little while. Anyway, so that's I don't know what it's going to be like that. Another thing is that yeah, most of these characters are completely different except for Tommy. For some reason, they read that they were compelled not to play the games, and whoever told them that is a fucking idiot. Because the only person that I liked so far is Tommy, because he sounds exactly like Tommy and acts exactly like Tommy, and I didn't realize. I thought it was literally the voice actor who played Tommy. I thought that was him. I didn't realize that it was completely someone else. But that the person that plays Tommy is going to be another character in this, just play differently. Same with Ashley Johnson. It's just like I don't know. I just wish they got the characters, the voice actors from this. Surely they could have got like Troy Baker and you put him in this and literally just made him big and buffed and you know maybe CGI his face to make him look a little bit like Joel. That way his voice is the same. You know, it just sounds off to me. Yeah, like I don't know that it just rubs me the wrong way. Just the way these characters are, just the way they sound. Except for Tommy, he sounds awesome. But other than that, yeah, this show will be. I don't know. I hope this show's okay. But I don't know. First episode was interesting, but I didn't love it like everyone else did. Mainly just the fact that I played the game religiously, like fucking religiously, and I'm just seeing this and it's just different to me. But anyway, is there anything else I need to talk about while I'm here? I mean, I'm hoping the next episode's quite good. I know we're going to see Bill and Frank. Yeah, well, in the video game, Joel doesn't know who Frank is. Like Bill only mentions him when we see him dead. You know, hung up in the car, in the house next to the car. We don't know who Frank is, so I'm guessing we're gonna see Frank in this. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another thing. I'm not a fan of the unnecessary swearing. I swear a lot. I mean, just watch my videos, I swear a lot, but in this, it's literally every second word is fucking this and fucking that and fucking this and shit that. It's just, yeah, not a fan of the unnecessary swearing. But anyway, guys, is there anything else I need to talk about? I said all the good stuff. I said most of the bad stuff. Not really. I mean, I could talk about the fact that they've gotten rid of the spores. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I'm taking that they've changed the way the virus spreads, because I'm pretty sure in the game the virus spread through South America through food, but in this game it's going to be like, I mean, in the TV show it's going to be airborne, like the coronavirus. I'm guessing they changed that up mainly due to that fact, but that's going to make no sense when Ellie has to be, when she has to breathe the spores, because in the game we see her do that, but we won't be able to now because there's no spores, so there's no masks. So anyway, that takes that element out just by getting rid of the spores. Anyway, so yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't know why they changed that. Just plot holes in the story. I'll lay money that fucking fraud Neil Druckmann did that for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not happy. I'm seeing his fucking, name plastered all over this, because he is definitely not the person who created the first game. He might have been a creative director, but Bruce Straley was definitely the guy. He was definitely the leech behind that guy, behind Bruce Straley, because the first game is done so well, and then when Neil Druckmann is, taking charge, it's all a bunch of fucking, I couldn't care less, but a bunch of woke bullshit that made no fucking sense in The Last of Us 2. And it wasn't just The Last of Us 2. Also, Uncharted 4 had plot holes galore, and guess who was front row center in the director's, seat? in the creative director's seat. And then when they did The Lost Legacy, and there was two, other creative directors, that game was great story wise. So yeah, like this guy, I've been telling you about this guy, and I'll still say it, that this guy is not the creative genius behind The Last of Us. He was just a leech behind Bruce Straley. And when Bruce Straley went, the whole fucking thing went to shit. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get going. I've been talking for about half an hour. I'm hoping I said everything. What I'm gonna do is gonna review, go back, listen to this, and if I think about anything else, I'm gonna put it in the end of this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If I don't come back in a second, I'll see you later. And if you guys want me to review every episode, I can definitely do that. If not, I'll just wait for the season to end and just do a big ending review when that comes out in like March or whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about the first episode, and I will see you later. Okay, bye.